Hi, this is Thresdend, and this is part 18 of an Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road walkthrough. In the previous 2 episodes, we've been trying to complete part 3 of the Zone story. Let me find it here. The List of the Three Princes is what it's called, and we have to collect 3 relics that will, I can't even remember what we need them for, but we need them to, like defeat the election or something like that. So we've got 2 of them, and all we need to do now is go to Niryastere and get the 3rd relic, which is a, Baragon, what is it?
The ruins of Niryastere lie in the far western reaches of the Colovian. Strange events. You stopped Shard Marshal Var. They seek to restore their patron, the once forgotten. Laramil calls you. It was a long time ago, friend.
Alright, it's not going to tell me what it is. A skein, I remembered it. We're searching for a skein that is a relic. That's the last thing. We've got a trumpet. We've got the sword. What's this? House Reign of Sylvanar. Alright, I'm not going to read this one at the beginning of the episode like this, but here's pages 1 and 2, and page 3 if you want to pause it so you can read it. So, we've got to go to Niryastere. And I believe these quests don't matter. These are... What's this? Fighters Guild. Yeah, it's quests that take us to other parts of the game world. It's not related to Gold Road. Alright, so where is Niryastere? Let's go out here and then check the map again. Oh, it's way there. Okay. So I need to teleport to 3 West Shrine. Then I'll head west from there.
Lost? How can we be lost? We make this trip every year.
Give me a moment to get my bearings. This wouldn't have happened if we were debating all the time. It distracts me.
Ogmund the Insightful?
I think I know where we are. This road matches this squiggly line.
I think you don't know where you are.
I hate to admit it, but Agmund is right. Our accursed debate on the Molag Bal paradox is what got us into this predicament.
What's the Molag Bal paradox?
It goes as follows. Molag Bal is the Daedric Lord of Domination. He always opposes the wishes of others. If everyone would express the belief that he exists, would he therefore cease to do so because his nature demands he oppose the wishes of others?
What's the debate about?
The question comes from the initial assumption that Molag Bal is subject to the metaphysical rules of the universe, which we call the Orbis. If that's true, then is he truly a being of pure domination?
Is there some way I can help?
I think you can. What are your thoughts on the paradox? Maybe then we can put our debate to rest and focus on getting to Skingrad. You should hear both our opinions on the matter before you decide.
All
Well, I
right.
just figured out where we need to go. But I am excited that this stranger wants to enter the debate now. The Molag Bal paradox is a classic. I wanted to dig into it because I know Isaiah doesn't like talking about Daedra, but I also think it's a good one to pass the time.
What are your thoughts on the paradox?
I felt that Molag Bal being alive implies that Orbic forces wish him not to exist. And so, in defiance, he chooses to remain alive. That implies that the universe at large wishes us to suffer, which would be both abusing and sad.
Okay. And you?
Speak to Agmund and hear his argument. I'll share mine, then give us an outsider's perspective.
What are your thoughts on the paradox?
Because Anuic and Padomaic forces simultaneously defy and support Molag Bal, he both simultaneously resists and submits to the will of others. This then means Molag Bal is either not completely dominant, or is not completely real.
I have some thoughts.
Please, let's hear them. Maybe then we can finish our pilgrimage. There's a comfy inn and a bottle of wine waiting for me in Skingrad.
Okay, so I can say, here's my choices. Perhaps Molag Bal represents the clash of free will and fate, and is himself suffering. Second, I can say, it's Molag Bal is actually kind of pathetic, a prisoner of his own nature. And then the third one is, I think this is all very confusing. Okay, I say, he's kind of pathetic, a prisoner of his own nature.
The price of sapience is resisting things out of our control. That's indeed a sad thing. I'm not overly fond of Daedra. Their inflexible nature makes them useful only as personifications of abstract concepts. But thank you for this new perspective. Well, thank you for putting up with our musings. We should probably be off. Skingrad awaits us. Let's get moving, Agmund. If we're lucky, there'll be sweet rolls available at the bakery by the time we arrive.
Oh, thank the eight. I was going to say the same thing, I says. Bye, traveler. Thanks for the help.
Glad to help. Okay, so looks like we got a side quest here. I'll go ahead and pick it up.
Help! Left Wheel is in dire need. You seem like the brave sort. I, for one, haven't the stomach for blades and beasts. And right now, Left Wheel has more than its fair share.
What's happening in Left Wheel?
Shining beasts and deranged cultists have invaded the town. Baroness Elianacosa sent out anyone fit enough to run and find aid. She's trying to help those still trapped, but she can't do it herself. I'd almost describe them as beautiful, if they didn't just try to eat me. The Baroness helped evacuate as many merchants and civilians as she could, but there are still others trapped with those beasts. She's promised gold in exchange for aid.
I'll help the people of Left Wheel.
You can find Baroness Elianacosa just inside the town walls. The entrance to Left Wheel is just north of Feldegard Keep. Let her know Grimner sent you.
Were you present for the attack?
Oh yes, I was delivering letters when it happened. A terrible crackling sound and the smell of burnt hair. All at once, the town erupted into chaos. I dropped everything I was carrying and ran. I'm lucky to have made it out alive.
Alright, can you hear me? Yeah, looks like you can hear me. Okay, so I'm having another problem with my microphone, so I'm going to log out and back in. Alright, that should have fixed it now. So I'm going to go ahead and go to this, this looks like might be a set station here. Left Wheel Brewery. Yeah, it definitely looks like a set station. So this is where you make the Highland Sentinel set. You know what? I'll go deconstruct. And I may as well deconstruct these as well. Got some good jewelry here. should be other stations nearby. Blacksmithing. Anything else? Xander was in my way. There is a public dungeon to the north. That'll be fun to do later. Wait, is that in the same direction? Huh. There's a troll down there. I don't want to mess with him. Oh, that is the point of interest icon. Is no, it says it's a public dungeon. Are you kidding me? This is a public dungeon? Okay. I'm not doing that right now. I'm gonna wait until the end of the zone to do that. Because that can take a long time. You have to find all the bosses and to get all the achievements. And really, I would need to create a solo build or equip a solo build to be able to do that. So I'm just going to move on, see if anything else on the way, and if not, we'll just go with the zone story. There is this place to the south here. Looks like it's just a striking locale.
Someday you'll make something surprising with that.
All right, back on the road. Here we go. Here comes another quest. Captain Dartorius.
As if Daedra weren't enough. What was he thinking? You there! I'm a captain in the West Weald Legion, and I require your assistance.
What happened to you?
I was leading a patrol hunting Daedra when one of my own legionaries attacked me. An orc named Ulrath. Such traitorous behavior endangered us all. Since I'm injured, could you locate whatever remains of my squadron? For mercenary pay, of course.
Any idea where I can find your squadron?
When the Daedra ambushed us and Ulrath turned on me, I ordered the patrol to take shelter in Fort Hastrel, to the northwest. Any survivors should be there. I need to know what happened to Ulrath, and to my squad. Report back to me with any news.
I'll go to Fort Hastrel and find out what became of your squad.
If you find my squadron, tell them that Captain Dartorius sent you. Order them to stay put at Fort Hastrel, and wait for me to join them. I'll stay here until you tell me it's safe. If you run into Ulrath, be careful. He's a cold-blooded killer.
You were tracking the Daedra and they ambushed you?
You must be aware of the strange Daedra popping up all over West Weald. While the Legion is stretched thin, we're not helpless. My soldiers were patrolling this region when the very Daedra we were tracking turned the table on us.
And why did Ulrath attack you?
If I only knew. I was at the head of the patrol about to lead the Daedra away to give my legionaries a chance when Ulrath cut me down. That orc was always complaining, but to disobey a direct order? Probably upset I never gave him that promotion.
He was supposed to be promoted?
He certainly thought so. Expected to be made a sergeant just because I had him performing those duties for the squad. For all I know, Ulrath was in league with these Daedra. It wouldn't surprise me. He's a tough, nasty orc who hates taking orders.
The feeling she is not giving us the full story. Something very fishy about this. I mean, obviously, somebody attacked her. I'm not denying that, but I think there's more to the story than what she's telling us.
Given no longer.
We're gonna have some input lag.
Bah, to Apocrypha with you. Found understanding, and with it, power. What can an Arcanist do for you today?
Xander, did you get a new skill? Did you? No, still can't do an ultimate. He needs to get another 6 levels.
Quite the memorable locale. Delightful.
Alright, so here's Fort Hastrel. This is where we needed to go, but I don't see how to get in. Alright, how do I get inside of the fort? Looks like up here. Alright, dead guy.
So many dead. What a waste.
That must be Ulrath. But where is he? Down low? Be up here. No. Yeah, he's down below.
Careful. I've lost a lot of comrades today, so I'm not in a trusting mood. Who are you and what do you want?
I'm Alardson Corquez. Captain Doria sent me to find out what happened in the squadron.
What happened to the squad? She's what happened to the squad. She froze when we spotted the Daedra. Refused to give a coherent order. I stepped in and she went crazy. Commanded the squad to engage a massively superior force. Then she turned to flee.
Captain Dartorius said she led the Daedra away after you attacked her.
Not hardly. She led her soldiers into a slaughter and then ordered them to cover her retreat. I cut her down, then rallied the squad and headed for this keep. We fought a running battle. I'm all that's left. Now it's my word against an officer's.
What do you plan to do?
The only thing I can do. Run. I'm no coward, and I don't want to be labeled a deserter, but what choice do I have? A captain's word carries more weight than lowly orc legionaries. A lot more. I wrote a report. Will you give it to the captain?
I can take your report to the captain.
Not that I owe you an explanation, but everything I said is true. I wrote it all down. My report to the Legion. I doubt the captain will pass it along, but at least my conscience is clear. As for me, tell her I died, or I'm a deserter. I don't care.
It sounds like you don't trust Captain Dartorius.
I don't. Not anymore. But I used to idolize her. Did everything I could to help her lead our squadron. Once the fighting stopped and I had a moment, I composed my report to explain what happened here. I left it over there, but you can take it.
So what really happened here,
I
Legionary?
finally saw our captain's true face. She used to be a great leader. I would have followed her to oblivion and back. But lately, she's been struggling. I helped as I could, doing what a sergeant would do, even without the rank. Then, today happened.
Tell me about that.
It's all in my report. Ever since our first encounter with the Daedra a few weeks ago, she's been off. Confusing orders, contradictory commands. When we walked into the ambush, she was like a rabbit in a snare. I tried to take command.
And then what?
She went wild. Ordered the patrol to attack what was clearly a superior Daedric force. Then she fled. Used her soldiers to cover her own escape. I just reacted. Struck her a glancing blow. Now, tell her I deserted. Or died. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay. What is this? Take his note, okay? Legion Ulrath's report. To Legion High Command, or whatever officer finds this, I, Legionary Ulrath, write these words as the last surviving soldier in Captain Dartorius' patrol. We faced a superior force of Daedra and made a good showing, but in the end, only I remain. Well, me and the captain, Tuskarus, we were patrol near Fort Hastrel when we stumbled into an ambush set for us by the Daedra. If the captain had followed my suggestion and sent scouts ahead of the patrol, we might have spotted the trap earlier. As it was, the entire patrol was taken by surprise before we could act. At this point, we all turned to the captain for orders, but she seemed dumbfounded. No orders were forthcoming. So I took and began to order a squadron to make for the nearby fort. Captain Dartorius emerged from her stupor and countermanded my order. Instead, telling the squadron to charge directly into the teeth of the enemy. As the soldier made to comply, the captain turned her mount and began to make her own escape, using her own soldiers to cover her retreat. Here, I admit, I acted on instinct, and in something of a rage, I struck out at the captain, hitting her a glancing blow that sent her from her mount. Then I turned and joined the squadron, calling for a retreat to the fort as we engaged in a running battle with the enemy. I want you to know that each and every legionary fought with all their hearts and souls. The enemy knew been in a fight, even as I watched each soldier around me eventually fall. A few of us finally made it to the keep and were able to drive off the remaining Daedra, but not a single remaining legionary was unscathed. Soon, all succumbed to their wounds, all except me. So, read my account. Decide if my actions were appropriate or wrong as you see fit. I know I did my duty. I know I fought to save our squadron. I know Captain Dartorius' fear and cowardice got her patrol killed. Whatever you decide, I am done. I no longer care. I know the word of a legionary would stand against a captain. I accept this, but by my oath as a legionary, everything I wrote here is true. I mean, it sounds like he took command
Quality
of the...
material makes for quality goods.
Sounds like he took command of the squadron, and he was not the commander. I mean, you can't do that. Alright, where's the next objective? Yeah, here's Captain Tutorial, so go back to her. Tell her that he deserted. And she can report him to Legion High Command, and they can arrest him, I guess, court-martial him. He can tell his story to the court, see if they believe him.
It's good to see someone who still knows how to follow orders. Did you make it to the fort? Did you find my squadron?
I found what remained of your squadron at Fort Hastrel.
What remained? Speak plainly, mercenary. What's the condition of my squadron? And what about the treacherous orc, Ulrath?
Ulrath was the only legionary to survive. He gave me this report and said he was leaving.
Ulrath is a deserter? The coward! But that makes things simpler. Not that they'd ever take the word of a legionary over a captain. I'll make sure his report receives all the attention it deserves. Here, the mercenary pay I promised. You earned it.
So I wish I could have taken the report to High Command and made sure that it got to them. That's the only thing I regret about this.
No matter how many times you lose a squadron, it never gets any easier. No need to stick around, mercenary. I'll be ready to head out myself in another few moments. I plan to personally lead the patrol that goes hunting for that traitor, Ulrath.
Is Legionary Ulrath's report true?
Truth is written by the victors, mercenary.
Great.
Haven't you learned that by now? The only truth is what I disclose to my superiors. Everything else is simply rumor and conjecture.
Okay, so she's lying. Are you really going to try to find Legionary Ulrath?
That deserter isn't a legionary. Not anymore. And yes, I plan to hunt him down and make an example out of him. No one questions the orders of Captain Dartorius and gets away with it. Ulrath will wish he died with the rest of the squad.
Alright, well, I made the wrong decision apparently. Oh well, it happens sometimes. Alright, now, that is a Miramore incursion, and then Niryastere is right here. Oh! Somebody's fighting the Miramore incursion right now. Oh, they killed it before I got to it. Wow. Bad luck. I thought I was going to complete the daily quest and get extra gear.
Hello, friend. It looks like the Recollection is camped right on top of Niryastere. We need a plan. That's Niryastere over there, surrounded by a Recollection stockade. I guess it's nice to know I correctly interpreted the map we found in Hope Route. But it does pose a problem.
What's the problem?
Assaulting a Recollection camp isn't our objective. Laramil says we need to find the Skein of Secrets. That's likely somewhere in the vaults of Niryastere. I recall a set of stairs leading down in the middle of the ruins. We should start there.
Any sign of King Nantharian here?
I've seen a few Recollection scouts come and go while I've been watching, but I haven't seen any of their leaders. Of course, I have no idea what's waiting for us in the underground portions of the ruins.
How do we get through the Recollection defenses?
If you want to hit them head on, I'll follow your lead and help as I can. But there might be an easier way to get where we need to go. Before we commit to an attack, why don't we scout the perimeter and see what other options present themselves?
Alright, let's scout the perimeter.
Let's look around and try to keep out of sight until we're ready to make a move. That's the main gate. Lots of recollection there. No way we're getting through them without a fight.
I think I could get through them.
The recollection brings supplies to this gate. The sentries here are predictable. We might be able to slip by them, or we could try the path to the north. Although, I don't know where that leads. I think we've seen enough. Let's compare notes. Looks like we've got multiple options for getting inside. From what I recall, we'll find the stairs to the buried halls in the middle of the stockade. Assuming the recollection hasn't blocked them up, that is.
What do you make of our choices?
It depends if we want to announce our arrival or stay hidden. The gate to the east is heavily defended, but there are fewer sentries at the west entrance. I think we could slip by them. Or we could try the path to the north.
Where does the path to the north lead?
That's a good question. Sometimes natural fissures or caves provide hidden entrances to buried ruins. I saw no recollection forces in that direction, so it might be worth investigating. Your call, friend. I'll follow your lead.
Alright, follow me. So he said a path to the north. Okay, I see it. I see the path to the north. I assume he means this way. Is that north? That looks like it's like east. Seen by the path to the north. Is that the path to the north? Or maybe this is? Oh. Okay.
Recollection sentries? There must be a reason why they're not guarding this passage.
Maybe there's giant monsters in here that are worse than recollection sentries. Looks like minotaurs. Yeah, I think this is more interesting.
Many eyes.
This is an interesting direction way. Glad I chose this path.
This looks promising. I think we're close to the parts of Niryastere I remember.
This is pretty cool. Multiple options because you can play it several times. Like, I would like to play through this again. It's a different path. Whoa, that goes way down. Should I go down?
They want to fight, do they?
Be careful. I remember encountering some deadly traps, and it looks like the recollection's been busy down here too.
Okay, so that goes back outside. That's one of the other entrances. Maybe western entrance. You know what? I think I'm going to... I'm tired of this trap beast thing. I'm going to go back to using soul magic. What's this? Common basket pattern, okay.
The Great Hall of Niryastere. This is as far as I got on my previous visit.
Alright, well we made it further this time.
The door to the south leads to Niryastere's vault, but it's sealed by this Welkin stone. The Recollection's working on the puzzle. Let's look at their notes.
King Nantharian's orders. Mystic Tarim, after Hoperoot, it is clear we face tenacious foes. Hermaeus Mora's minions fight against their own freedom, but we must protect our prince nonetheless. To this end, you must ensure the skein of secrets cannot be used against us. Torvasard believes it was sealed away in the vaults of Niryastere long ago. Find a way to retrieve the skein and destroy it. I must take a different path. The power slumbering in the darkened home can restore our prince. I am sure of it. All I need do is plant enough seeds and use the staff to awaken it. Mystic Tarim's notes. This is infuriating. My divinations clearly indicate the lesser Velkins for these sockets are nearby. But I have combed every spot of this ruin I can reach to no avail. The first one is in the northern gallery, above the hall to the east. I am sure of it. Yet no spell or sight of mine can reveal its hiding place. The second is in the halls high above the eastern gallery. Rubble blocks the way. The third stone lies at the end of the southern passage to the west. There's no way across the pit to search for it. The last is just beyond the gate of the northern passage to the west, but how can we get to the balcony? Perhaps some mage more clever than I can find these accursed stones.
Interesting. Let's talk about how to proceed, friend. I've got no talent for spells, but I picked up a bit of arcane lore in my time. The ancient Aelids were fascinated with light. They devised ways to harness its magicka, or draw it from ethereal crystals, like this burnt-out stone.
What's the stone do?
Great Welkin stones like this one powered mighty enchantments. They could make buildings float in mid-air, maintain networks of magical portals, or seal impassable gates. I think this is exactly what we're looking for.
You think the skein of secrets is beyond those doors?
Someone in the Recollection thinks so. Besides, you don't build a door like that or a lock with a Welkin stone without a reason. Explorers have visited Niryastere many times over the years, but no one's ever gotten past the dead crystal.
Then how do we restore the Velkin stone?
Do you see the empty sockets? The mage I came here with years ago thought we needed lesser Welkins to restore the Great Welkin stone, but we couldn't find any. Judging from these notes, the Recollection's experiencing the same problem.
Could the relics help? The Lamp of Clarity reveals things, and Abolisher opens portals.
Good idea, friend. The lamp and Abolisher give us an advantage previous explorers didn't have. I suggest we start with the East Passage and look for a way up to the north. The Recollection Mage's notes suggest we might find something there.
I'm still feisty.
Okay. That was a surprise.
Good idea, friend. The lamp and Abolisher.
How did you learn about alien
previous
puzzles?
I'm sorry to say that one of my principal talents as an adventurer was getting into places I wasn't supposed to be. I generally served as the trap expert and lockpicker of the party. Guess I've always been interested in puzzles.
What can you tell me about the last time you were here?
I came here as part of a small adventuring company. Brave companions and good friends. Anyway, we found the stairs in the ruins and fought our way past a small horde of skeletons to reach this spot.
What brought you to Niryastere?
We hoped to find some treasure overlooked by other explorers. The vault door certainly seemed promising, but the Welkind apparatus stopped us here. Niryasteri's undead forced us to retreat before we could figure out how to get past it.
What became of your company?
We parted ways long ago. I had one close call too many in ruins like these, so I decided to retire and take up a safer vocation. We said our farewells in Skingrad. It's ironic. I'm falling into dangerous habits again.
What do you make of King Nantharian's plans?
It looks like Nantharian intends to plant more wildburn seeds. I thought we were finished with all that at Hoperoot. What really worries me is the suggestion that the wildburn ritual has another purpose.
Another purpose?
Planting seeds to wake the power that sleeps in the darkened home. I thought Nantharian wanted to cover West Weald in a great forest. But maybe the wildburn is just the collateral damage of his real purpose.
What's the darkened home? What power sleeps there?
I have no idea. I dimly recall seeing that turn of phrase somewhere before. A translation of an old Ayleid name, maybe? But where the darkened home is and what's there, I couldn't say.
Alright, let's start exploring. That is not going to get me to where this is. I'm going to need to go south and then east.
I think I've read that one before.
Me too, me too.
That strange glow. Is the lamp doing that?
Well, let's see.
Amazing! That stone wasn't there until the light of the lamp revealed it.
Great. Lesser Welkin Stone, an ethereal fragment imbued with magicka. It appears to fit the empty socket at the Great Welkin Stone.
Great. Let's go back to the Great Welkin Stone and try it in one of the sockets.
Okay.
Look! The stone you placed is feeding the Greater Welkind. Let's find the rest of the lesser stones.
Alright, let's do it. This has been a pretty fun quest so far. I love this dungeon. It's so elaborate. Research portfolio? Really?
I think a polisher might help us here.
Alright. Great.
Perhaps a tactical approach.
Yeah, I know, it's funny, Asendar. Alright, what is over here? Anything interesting? Just some books? No, it could be some book that's going to give me a skill or something.
I'm a scholar, damn it!
Yeah, it looks like a waste of time. That's alright, at least I won't spend... I won't be thinking about how... Maybe I missed something important there.
Look, I think that's another hidden Welkin stone. Use the lamp, friend. There it is! Another Welkin stone. Go ahead, take it.
Okay,
Another
so...
stone. 2 more and we'll see what the Great Welkin Stone is protecting.
Alright, I've got to use Abolisher to open a portal in these 2 other areas. And actually, this is my cue to end the video right here. So in the next episode, we will open these 2 portals over here. See if we can get the last Welkin stones, or Welkin stones. Thanks for watching. See you next time.